Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you're a man yourself, or you have an important man in your life, a partner, a father, a brother, you've probably heard about the urinary or prostate issues that seem to pop up as men get older. It's a common concern, and it all revolves around a small but mighty organ called the prostate. But here's the big question. Is it something we just have to accept? Is it possible to actually prevent prostate enlargement before it even starts? Can you lower the risk for yourself or for someone you care about? Today, we're diving deep into exactly that. We'll explore how and why the prostate enlarges and, most importantly, first off, what is the prostate and why does it get bigger? The prostate is a small, walnut-shaped gland located just beneath the bladder, and it wraps right around the urethra. That's the tube you urinate through. In some cases, unrelated abnormal cells can develop, and rarely, this can lead to prostate cancer, which is a separate issue from the benign enlargement we're discussing today. Now, a really common question I hear is, if testosterone levels decline with age, why does the prostate keep growing? It seems counterintuitive, right? The answer lies in a group of hormones called androgens, which includes testosterone. When testosterone reaches the prostate, an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase converts it into a much more potent hormone, DHT, or diphytotestosterone. DHT binds very strongly to androgen receptors inside prostate cells, telling them to grow. And even though testosterone levels might be dropping, prostate growth often continues. This tells us that hormones are a big piece of the puzzle, but they aren't the whole story. So, why do these prostate cells multiply in the first place? Benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, happens when there's an imbalance, more cell growth than cell death. This imbalance is driven by several key growth factors. Think of them as little messengers telling your cells what to do. We're talking about molecules like epidermal growth factor, EGF, insulin-like growth factor, IGF, and others. When these growth factors become overactive, they constantly tell the prostate cells to multiply, and that's when the enlargement really kicks into gear. Let's break down the major causes of prostate enlargement. First, genetics. BPH can definitely be inherited. If a man's father had BPH, especially if he was diagnosed before age 60, his own risk is significantly higher. So, family history is a key factor to be aware of. Second, and this one is huge, inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a massive driver of prostate growth. This inflammation can be triggered by a lot of different things: infections, from viruses or bacteria, autoimmune issues, hormonal changes, or even urine refluxing back into the prostate ducts. When the prostate tissue is inflamed, it releases chemical messengers called cytokines, like interleukin-6. These cytokines then boost those growth factors we just talked about, causing even more cell proliferation. This creates a really vicious cycle. The growth causes low oxygen levels in the tissue, which leads to oxidative stress, which creates more inflammation, which then fuels even more growth. It's a feedback loop that's hard to break. And third, there's the issue of smooth muscle tightening. The prostate isn't just a gland. It also contains smooth muscle, which is controlled by your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight system. Certain metabolic and lifestyle factors, like big swings in your blood sugar or carrying excess weight, can increase the tone of this muscle. This tightening can squeeze the urethra and worsen urinary symptoms, even if the prostate isn't massively enlarged yet. So, with all that in mind, how can we actually reduce the risk? This is the most important part. The number one, most powerful, and most consistent risk factor you can tackle is metabolic syndrome. This isn't just one thing, but a cluster of conditions. Things like diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, obesity, high blood sugar, and a large waist circumference. These are all strongly linked to the typical Western diet, which is high in processed foods, unhealthy fats, and sugar. The research here is incredibly clear. Having diabetes increases your risk of BPH by 125%. It also increases the severity of urinary symptoms by 95%. A BMI over 35, which is in the obese range, can increase your risk of prostate enlargement by over 200%. And having a waist size over 42 inches increases the risk by 138%. So, what's the takeaway? Reducing your weight, managing your blood sugar, and avoiding insulin resistance are some of the most powerful protective steps you can possibly take. Number 2 on our list is increasing physical activity. The evidence for this is overwhelming. A review of 8 different studies, covering over 355,000 men, found that even light exercise reduces the risk of BPH by about 30%. You don't need to become a marathon runner. The data shows that just walking for more than 2 hours per week can reduce your risk by about 27%. Daily activity helps your body burn through excess glucose, regulates hormones, improves circulation, and reduces that chronic inflammation we talked about. Just 20 minutes of walking a day can make a massive difference. Number 3 is to be mindful of certain medications that can worsen symptoms. Now, these medications don't cause BPH, but if you're already starting to experience mild urinary issues, they can make things significantly worse. The main culprits are certain antihistamines, which can weaken bladder contractions, and decongestants like pseudoephedrine, which can tighten the muscles in the prostate. Some older tricyclic antidepressants can also interfere with urinary flow. If you're noticing symptoms, it's a good idea to talk to your doctor about your medications to see if any of them might be contributing. Some of the best data on this comes from the prostate cancer prevention trial, which followed over 18,000 men for 7 years. What did they find? High-fat diets were linked to a 31% increased risk of BPH. Eating red meat daily was linked to a 30% increased risk, and having a low vegetable intake was associated with a 38% increased risk. So, what kind of diet is best? The evidence consistently points towards a Mediterranean-style diet. This means a diet that's high in vegetables, has low to moderate amounts of fish, limited red meat, plenty of healthy fats from sources like olive oil and nuts, and is low in processed sugars and refined carbs. This way of eating directly combats the major drivers of prostate enlargement. It reduces inflammation, helps prevent metabolic syndrome, and fights oxidative stress. Now, you've probably heard about lycopene, especially from tomatoes. Is it a magic bullet? It's also wise to avoid medications that can make symptoms worse and to focus on reducing chronic inflammation in your body. Protecting your prostate isn't about one miracle food or a single supplement. Start taking care of your prostate health now, and your body will thank you for it for years to come. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more evidence-based health content.